Okay, you guys, this is ITTT1128 bringing you my first tutorial of many explaining the basics of the game of War Commander. Now, my first tutorial here is about building your base, building it up so it's harder to get DP'd or bubbled, which is basically just slang for getting your base destroyed. Now, the first of many things that you want to have in your base is good turret placement. And this can be achieved by keeping a turret and a mortar touching at all times. And you see I've kind of taken this to the extreme here by placing all my turrets and mortars in a line on each side. And this really just it just helps to protect your base when several units come in, especially when someone tries to take in a bunch of tanks and bring them in to try to take out one mortar just by staying quite a little bit ahead. It really helps when you have several mortars firing at once. And now, for turret placement, I've found that one good place to always place your turrets is right behind this building right here, right behind your command center. And I'm sure you can see that turret here that was previously hidden. It's my highest upgraded one. And I know it's kind of sad it's only a level 7, but and when you're upgrading your turrets, at least make them all level 5 as you're building your first base, maybe, or even if you're fairly well into the game, because now that Hellfires have been introduced to the game, they're way overpowered, and you need at least a level 8 mortar to stop a level 6 Hellfire. Level 8 Hellfires and anything level 6 and up will be able to hit all of your mortars and be able to outrange all mortars under level 8. And it's really BS. Now, the second thing you'll want to do when building your base is to really prioritize the main, really vital things to your base. For me, I take that to be my power plants, my go-go bar, my upgrades, and my storages. And your storages, obviously, it's because you don't want to lose resources, and if your storages are out in the open, it's much easier for people to farm you. And farming is when people just come in and without destroying your base and placing you in damage protection, just hit your resources or your upgrades over and over again to really stall you out and really just make the game miserable for you. And so what I've done here is I placed them behind my lines of turrets. And then for my power plants, you'd say, wow, that's really undefended power plants. 2 of them are right there. But for my base, it runs on 4,409 power, and this one power plant produces 4,560. And so this one power plant is my main thing I need to protect, and most people won't know that, and they'll come in and waste a ton of units trying to take out these two and lower your defenses. And yeah, it just fails, because once you have an upgraded power plant that can run your whole base, it really brings your base in tighter, and it makes it so that it's much harder to break through, much harder to get that hole in your defenses, because your turrets are closer, your turrets are supporting each other. And now, the next thing is your upgrades. Your upgrades are really vital, because every time they get attacked, until they're completely or most of the way repaired, they don't keep upgrading. And so, let's say right as you go offline, someone hits you, and you have a 14-hour upgrade, as I do right here, 15-hour. Someone hits you, it completely stops it until you get back online and hit repair on your base. And so that's 14, 15 hours that they've delayed you just because your upgrades weren't protected enough. Okay, and the other thing is your go-go bar. Your go-go bar, when fully upgraded, provides an 18% damage per second boost to all defending units, and obviously that's pretty important. And so you don't want your go-go bar getting destroyed before they destroyed most of your defending units. And last but not least is the command center. The command center really needs to be protected, obviously, because it holds roughly 50% of your stealable resources at the time of the attack, and also because it's been rumored that the Condor, the new bomber, aims for the command center. And so that might be a reason that you would want to put your command center outside, but really no one, at least at my level, is going to be hitting you with the Condor, really. So all those buildings need to be protected. Another way you can do that is with your bunkers, not just your turret placement. Your bunkers really, as you progress through the game, become more and more useless. They aren't as good as they really are at the beginning. At the beginning, they're really a big hassle. But as you progress further in the game, yeah, they lose their usefulness. But my main setup, as you can see, I've only upgraded them to level 2, is I keep heavy gunners, which I believe are the most useful unit to place in a bunker. I place 7 of them right now, so about a 7-to-2 ratio of heavy gunners to snipers. And the snipers, since they have such a huge amount of range, can stop attack dogs from getting in and sniffing out your mines. They'll shoot the attack dogs before they can get to your mines. And you really want that, because obviously you don't. Your mines can provide a huge boost. For instance, this one shape charge can take out an entire platoon of Razorbacks in one go. So yeah, you want to protect your mines with snipers, and you want to protect your base from air with heavy gunners. And now another one of my tactics that lots of people have found dirty or not very sportsmanlike is to take Gatling trucks. And I personally prefer Gatling trucks because they're much smaller. They are completely covered. Take your Gatling trucks, put them on hold position, and cover them with walls. This makes it so that any incoming units, be it Warhawks, copter drones, any type of air, when they fly over, and most people either haven't heard of this or don't suspect it when they see something like this, when they fly over, they will be completely taken by surprise. And yeah, Gatling trucks do major damage to air. I believe they have a best rating against them. And so you take all your Gatling trucks and you get them into, I think, sideways, so facing to the left or right is what will be your best bet in getting them to be completely covered to the wall, by the wall. And so basically you just take your walls like so, cover up your Gatling trucks, and voila, they can't hit your Gatling trucks until they destroy the walls. And most of the time it'll catch them completely surprised, and it acts as like almost a bunker, except with Gatling trucks in it. So, as I'm sure you can see where that might be handy. So just cover them all up. Make sure there's no Gatling truck parts showing, because that's a dead giveaway. Okay, and here's my last strategy. You can see out here I have suicide bombers set on aggressive in around the area where units would spawn. They might spawn a little bit out here, but say a suicide bomber, since tanks don't do very well against infantry, he can probably travel about an inch of screen distance before he dies from a platoon of tanks. So you take suicide bombers and you put them out around places people spawn. Obviously I've been hit from here quite a bit. So you put them around places people will spawn. See mine here, you can hide them behind a sign, whatever you like. Lots of people put them in these ruins. I haven't as of now, but I am planning on it. And yeah, so it's kind of a one-trick pony, I guess you would say. As once people get hit by them, they aren't going to get hit by them again. They will deploy air, and they will take an entire attack to go around your base and just destroy these suicide bombers that are set on aggressive. Because eventually, even if you deploy right here with your tanks, a suicide bomber all the way over here will start running at you. And so most people will just go through and clear them. But if you're getting hit for the first time by someone, it's a really nice trick to have. And yeah, as to kind of wrap things up, the reason this, which may seem like an important building, is not in the base is because literally nothing happens with your storage. You can access everything in your storage building from your platoons tab. And here you can see all my platoons, all my dogs, and tanks. Your mine factory, Even at level 5, it repairs, I think, at around 7 or 8 minutes, so that's 3 minutes you have to wait until you can speed it up. And these, if you keep up on your tabs right before someone attacks your base, then you will literally lose no resources, or maybe not none, but almost zero, because you can only lose the amount of resources that are in these pumps. And frankly, since you get most of your resources from depots and rogue bases, pumps really don't matter too much. You can see I collect 3 times as much from my depots as I do from producing metal, and about twice as much for oil. And so, yeah, that about sums up my video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.